telepathy in love, how to do it, and what you need to know to get there. Welcome to the channel. My name is Antojai, and here we teach you everything about psychic abilities, shamanism, and the law of attraction without any BS or fluff, all right? So don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. Telepathy in your relationships is a very real thing, and you'll notice that the longer you date somebody, the higher probability or chances you have of developing telepathy with that person, even if you're not trying. And you can see this with relationships that have gone on for like 20, 30 years where partners can predict what the other one is going to do or say or even think. And it's a process that happens because your energy gets so deeply intertwined with another person's that it's unavoidable to connect to soul. And in one of my previous videos, I was just talking about soul to soul connection is probably the hardest form of telepathy that you can develop. But when you do, it changes the game for everything. So these are my major tips. I'm going to give you 3 things to really pay attention to if you're going to start developing telepathy, and 3 ways to start doing it, all right? Here are the 3 warning signs if you're going to get into telepathy with somebody that you deeply, deeply love. Number 1, you cannot lie to them whatsoever. When you're in a telepathic relationship with somebody, you're going to notice that even if you try to keep secrets from that person, it's just going to show up rather through their dreams, their intuition is going to naturally know, or there's going to be some other cosmic events that puts everything into play so that they find out. So if you're somebody that likes to lie, you have a lot of secrets, maybe you're being slightly unfaithful, you don't want to create this level of connection with the person that you're with because they will find out. It's a very safe thing, but it's also annoying because if you develop telepathy with somebody else, you're going to notice that they can't lie to you either. So if they're keeping secrets or anything like that, it will manifest itself and you're going to end up seeing it very easily out of nowhere. But it is a two-way road. So you're going to be held accountable to those same exact experiences. So if you're not ready to take that next level, and this is the thing that I really would say is the most important thing, is like the honesty portion is huge. So it's going to force you to be authentic. It's going to force you to tell the truth, and it's going to force you to really step out of your comfort zone. Tip number 2, you're not going to see your partner in the same light, okay? Because as you develop telepathy, you're going to find out things about that person in general that they may not even know about themselves. And you're going to start seeing these patterns and these messages where you authentically get to know that person that you've been with for a long time. A lot of times in relationships, you'll notice that people don't always tell each other exactly what's on their mind. Maybe they show 90% of who they really are, not 100. You cannot avoid not only on step 1, knowing all the truths and the secrets that have been there, but in this second level, you're going to have to get to relearn your partner because there are things about your partner that they may not have shared to you, anyone else, or even to themselves. And you have to have like this openness, non-judgmentalness to really embrace that second version of your partner that's always been there. You just haven't been able to see. Warning number 3, you will not be able to turn off the telepathy once you turn it on with somebody that you really, really love. Especially when you get into the sexy time, right? The more you have that sexy time with them, you're intertwining your tantric energy. So that's your root chakra, sacral chakra energy. Eventually, it doesn't matter what it is that you do, it's going to stay connected for an extended amount of time. So I've had moments where I've broken up with somebody and years later, they still have telepathy with me because we developed telepathy in our relationship. And then now that we're living in different states or we don't even talk to each other anymore, in some way, we're still totally connected, and we'll have lots of experiences that'll show us how we're still soul to soul connected. So it's really important to kind of pick who you really want to develop this skill set with. If you know it's just like somebody that's just going to be a fling for the summer, you don't want to develop this type of connection with that person. But if you've been married to somebody for a long time, or you know somebody is going to be like a lifelong partner, this is going to take your relationship to the next level. It will make it or break it. It really just depends on you and them, whether you're authentic, whether you're willing to accept each other for who you truly are beyond the veil, and if you're willing to fully be connected for an extended amount of time that isn't fully definable. So all right, you already know the warning. If you're ready to take this to the next level, then listen up to the 3 tips that I'm going to give you so that you can start making this a reality. I've done this all myself. I know they work, and I teach people all over the world to do the same thing, all right? So if you just follow through, you will have the results that I'm sharing with you right now. Tip number 1, every time you guys are going to enter your, special time, your sexy time, right? I want you both to actively think about merging your souls together. So it's no longer just because, oh, we have this primal urge to release some sexual energy. Now it's this thing of we're actively going to connect our souls together so that we can have a higher level of experience in our reality. When you're doing this, it's not too hard. All you have to do is enter, your special sexy time with the intention that you both are going to connect at a soul level. So one of the ways that I do that with my partners is before we even start engaging, I say my intention is to, make this connection really, really deep. And your partner can also end up setting the same kind of intention or something that's a little bit different, and then engage. While you guys are both having that special time together, right, where you're all grinding and whatnot, allow yourself to just open up, like surrender as much of yourself as possible. You're going to notice that there's parts of you, your shadow, your ego, other wounded areas of your personality that may not fully surrender when you're engaging in sexy time. So you want to kind of connect to those pieces and like give them up, like almost like a sacrifice. You're giving them to your partner, or you're surrendering them to the cosmos so that you can let go of old baggage and open up new energy that allows you to have a deeper connection with other people. A lot of times we do not have a deeper telepathic connection with others because we are reserving ourselves. The second tip that I'm going to give you is being completely honest with your partner for a month or more. Like your whole entire relationship honestly should be transparent. You guys should be able to talk about whatever it is that's on your mind whenever, so that there's no like blockages or like interfering energies that are competing with themselves in your relationship. And I know not a lot of people end up doing this because they're still trying to find themselves. But if you're at a point where you and your partner can actually just be 100% transparent about everything, the longer you can go, the easier your telepathy is gonna manifest for itself. And one of those examples is like my relationship. When we started dating, we literally told each other everything. Like we had kind of like an open relationship. We would go out, hook up with other people, come back, tell each other all about the stories. There was no secrets between us when it came to what we wanted in our relationship, what we expected out of each other, where we were going personally in our lives. We were super, super, super transparent about every element of our lives. And we were willing to deal with the repercussions if we didn't meet eye to eye on a particular issue, right? And that also elevated not only my telepathy skills with my partner, but this is a method that I've rinsed and repeat with a lot of different couples, and they end up seeing that not only does the relationship get easier because now there's no fakeness, like you don't have to like walk around eggshells trying to predict what your partner really is experiencing, but there's also like this higher level of trust because you are honoring yourself as a person authentically, and then it teaches you how to honor somebody else authentically for all of their needs. This is where you start developing something called emotional intelligence. Just remember, like you can combine step one, which is like that tantric sexual energy coming together, while you're still doing step two, which is, hey, let's be totally honest with each other from now on out. Even if it's something really difficult for me to like swallow or comprehend or listen to, I'm going to give you the space to communicate that so you feel safe, so that we can develop more and more and more of our telepathy. One of the things that we've also realized with telepathy, just helping people all over the world and in my personal relationship too, is that telepathy allows you to be more of who you are because there's no more sugarcoating what is the actual reality you guys want to be co-creating, which will speed up the law of attraction, your quantum jumping skills, and manifestation itself as a whole. My third tip is going to be a little bit out there, so it's not really for everyone, but it has proven to show results. Go on spiritual sacred trips together, psychedelic trips together. Whether you're doing ayahuasca or you're taking the mushies or you're doing something else that puts you in an altered state of consciousness, do that with your partner. And I highly recommend that if you're experienced at the psychedelic world, that you do this just you two by yourselves, because not only is there no interference in the room because it's just you two, but since you both are in this really heightened state of awareness, of consciousness, there is no other interference but experiencing telepathy, a soul-to-soul connection. Now again, if you take the psychedelic concept that I'm sharing with you right now and you combine it with step one, the sexual tantric practice, and then step two, which is you guys are being honest with each other all the time, your telepathy again, will just skyrocket. It'll be a totally different experience of telepathy, to the point where your telepathy will start showing you past lives. This is what's really crazy. So when I first started, with doing this type of tantric soul work with my partner, it had started off with us actually going so deep that we ended up seeing ourselves in past lifetimes, from the Renaissance period to ancient Spain to ancient Greece. And we knew we were having these experiences. We were those people, and our minds were so free that we were able to look at the context of our souls, our own individual souls, but also the story that our souls had experienced together, which then gave us even more awareness of who we are as a couple and who we are as individual people in this relationship that's repeating itself over and over and over again. And it was through doing psychedelics and this spiritual work with my partner that I've come to even understand love at a greater concept, because now I can accept someone for who they truly are. And I know that sometimes people don't even fully know who they are, because they have to keep developing their soul until they come to a certain level of awareness. Now, I really just want to point out there, if you're doing telepathy just so you can be see, I knew you were lying to me, that's gonna turn off your telepathy connection with the person. Telepathy is not about using it as a trump card in your relationship. And you also have to understand that telepathy isn't something that you can just immediately force onto another person. It does require trust. So the more trust you have that I'm telepathic, I know you're telepathic, I know that we're developing this relationship that's telepathic, I'm aware that everyone on the planet is telepathic, and you keep kind of working from that space, telepathy is inevitable. You will literally end up experiencing it no matter what. If you're experiencing telepathy just so that you can see whether or not it works, it's gonna happen for you, but it won't be as deep as I'm describing, especially if you're doing it on psychedelics and you're not setting an intention. The intention part of it all is so important, especially when you're on psychedelics, because your energy will naturally go to that place. So if you're allowing yourself to open yourself up and say, hey, I'm experiencing telepathy, I'm experiencing another soul for what it really is, I'm experiencing myself in this whole entire dimensional scape, you're gonna see magical things happen. And if you want to dive deeper into telepathy, you can definitely join my Patreon school. Links are going to be in the description below. Or you can take my free soul alchemy class, where I teach you the basics of soul energy work, and that's going to start developing different abilities for you to basically start becoming more connected with your soul purpose and other people's souls. Let me know if this was helpful, and if you've ever tried any of these, because I know a lot of people have. What have been your experiences, so we can share them in the comments below and other people can learn from you. We are each other's gurus, so never forget that. Sending you so much love. I love you. Catch you in the next one.